Diamondbacks are finishing up their series in New York. They finished it off with a win, taking 2 out of 3 from the team that was the best team in baseball at the start of the series record-wise. And if you were listening to yesterday's show, you will notice that in real time, we were trying to piece together what Torey was going to do with his bullpen. And I tried to make some predictions as the game was ongoing with who was coming up for the Mets and trying to figure out how, without Justin Martinez and without A.J. Puck like they've been for the last couple of weeks, how Torey was going to maneuver his way through this, how he was going to deploy his high leverage arms, all of whom had pitched the night before. Everybody. Thompson, Beeks, Ginkel, Miller, all threw in the win on Tuesday. And those are your high leverage arms. You're going to need them to go back-to-back days. I know that's probably going to mean some of them are unavailable tonight against Philly. But you just were wondering how they were going to navigate through this end-of-game scenario. Well, we saw it yesterday. It was Ryan Thompson in the 7th. It was Kevin Ginkel in the 8th. And it was Shelby Miller handling the duties in the 9th. It was a clean look at these 4 guys. Why do I say that? Because all 4 of them worked the day prior. So Torey didn't have to avoid a certain guy. He had everybody available to him. And so this is how he deployed it. Thompson, Ginkel, Miller. And I tend to find that a little bit surprising. We ran a poll yesterday. I think it ended up being 50-50 between Ginkel and Miller. I was in the Ginkel camp, somebody who's just has that experience, had 5 saves a year ago. Shelby Miller before yesterday had 3 career saves. And I thought that Torey would lean towards the guy that he has the long-standing relationship with. Ginkel has been with the Diamondbacks for 7 years, all of which Torey Lovullo was the manager for. Now, there was some crossover at the beginning of Shelby's tenure in Arizona with Torey, but it was for a handful of starts. I think it was like 8 starts in total, 9 games that there was crossover. So I thought the benefit of the doubt was going to lean towards Ginkel. And the guy who's been here for 7 years was a guy that he went to last year at times to get the saves. I thought that's how he would deploy it on day 1 of the post-Justin Martinez era. And after the game, Torey gave us 0, gave us nothing, no clues, no breadcrumbs about what he might do moving forward. That it's going to just be not an up-in-the-air thing. He probably has a feel for what he's doing, but he kept all of his options open in the press conference after the game yesterday. Now, all of you know this who listen to this show regularly. I am on the record. I like to have my bullpen with defined roles. I like to show up to the ballpark knowing who my 7th inning guy is, knowing who my 8th inning guy is, knowing the guy that I think has the nerves of steel, that I trust to get those final 3 outs in the 9th inning. And that guy is different than the other 2 guys. There's one guy out there that I know has the nerves of steel, that has the stomach for the 9th inning. That's how I would manage. I would make sure that even if I don't have my ideal closer, I put somebody in that role so that I can try to begin to work backwards and map out how I'm going to get the 27 outs. But in this scenario, I can understand why Torey may not want to be committal. Because I do think there is a difference between the way we talk about Justin Martinez and the way we talk about A.J. Puck, and then these guys that are going to be the candidates to hold down the 9th inning. I think Justin Martinez, stuff-wise, is a special, special pitcher. There aren't many in the game that are throwing sinkers that hard. He is a unicorn. He is a one of one to throw that pitch that hard with that type of movement to go along with his excellent splitter. So I lean towards, if I've got a Justin Martinez at my disposal, that's my closer because I'm a stuff guy. If you're going to be put in the 9th inning for me, you need to throw gas. Gasoline is what I need from you in the 9th inning. I need heat. I need high octane. I am going to make you swing and miss type stuff because you may be called on to come into a game where it's 4-2, 4-1, and there's a runner on base and you're getting called into a scenario where you can't allow a ball over the yard, or it's a 1-run game and you can't allow any contact. So I want stuff. I want swing and miss stuff. And you look up and down The guys they have now, Ginkel, Miller, Beeks, Thompson. I think Ginkel has the best stuff out of these four guys, but nobody has the stuff of the level of Justin Martinez or even A.J. Puck for that example. A.J. Puck has really great stuff, and he throws it from the left side of the plate. That is a unique thing to have in the back half of your bullpen for the 8th and 9th inning. So as much as I don't like it, as much as it's not what I would do, I do think there's a reasonable approach to maybe playing a little bit more matchup based because you don't have this slam dunk, overwhelming stuff. Ryan Thompson maxes out at like 92 miles an hour. More of a command guy, has some good break on his breaking stuff. Ginkel's the guy that brings you the high octane. He's gotten it up there 95, 96 in the past. His velocity to start the year is a little bit down. It's only two outings, so need a small sample size alert. But you don't have the overwhelming, powerful stuff that's just going to make hitters crumble. You can mix and match, and okay, there's two lefties here in the 9th. I got to save Jalen Beeks to get those two lefties. Or I think Thompson's stuff matches up against these righties better. That's how we're going to do it. I can understand maybe wanting to let this play out a little bit more before having these refined roles.
The two questions I had based on yesterday, and obviously the bullpen did a nice job of getting out of there with the win. But one, Torey really didn't go lefty-lefty in the 8th, like we talked about.
Not going Beeks in the 8th was surprising to me.
To get Lindor from the right side where he has less power, you go lefty-lefty for Soto. They go to Ginkel there. He gives up the home run to Soto.
Right, which proves our point of you maybe want to put Beeks in that spot.
So I wonder if that's going to continue to be righty-lefty doesn't matter, or maybe Beeks wasn't available for some reason that Torey didn't explain yesterday. But it was interesting to see Ginkel come out in a situation where you had said it, and I can, kind of agreed. That was a lefty spot in the 8th inning with those three hitters coming up. And then my second question comes with Ryan Nelson. And listen, we talked about 4 days ago about Erod and Ryan Nelson switching roles, and maybe Ryan Nelson can come in and be your 5th starter. But you're getting to a point where one of these guys probably needs to be locked up in the bullpen and commit to a bullpen role. And if that's the case, maybe you can start to use Ryan Nelson in high leverage 7th, 8th, 9th inning roles.
Here is what's going to be really interesting about tonight's game. And it's your turn now. The Diamondbacks are facing your team, the Philadelphia Phillies. But for the Diamondbacks, what I am going to be really fascinated to pay attention to tonight, Ginkel worked 2 days in a row. Miller worked 2 days in a row. Thompson worked 2 days in a row. One would assume that in May, you are not working those guys 3 days in a row. So one would assume coming into tonight, you don't have Ginkel. You don't have Shelby. You don't have Ryan Thompson. And was that part of the thinking of holding Beeks back? I think my argument would have been use Beeks there, hold Ginkel back for today. But maybe that's the reason why he held somebody back and he chose Beeks for whatever reason.
You get the Phillies lefty-heavy team.
I'm trying to come up with a reasoning why he didn't go with the lefty against Soto and Lindor.
But that's, to me, at least yesterday, I looked at yesterday's game as you manage it like a playoff game. If you have the chance to steal the series in New York, you take the chance to steal in New York. And it felt like by not using Beeks yesterday, you're playing for tomorrow or you're playing for today.
I think.
And that rubs me slightly the wrong way in a series that felt as if it was a must win, especially with the chance to take 2 of 3 from the best team in baseball on the road.
Yeah, and you got the win, you got the series win, and you use those 3 guys. And so maybe the punishment, the price for doing what you did yesterday is you're shorthanded today. And if you are in a close game late, you don't have the arms to hold up over the course of 9 innings today. That's the price may be you gave up today to try to hold on to yesterday, and you tried to walk this fine line by holding Beeks back, or maybe, again, we're just guessing here. But tonight's going to be really interesting because if they're in a close game, I don't know if they're going to have the horses available to get them the 6, 8, 6, 9, 12 outs that they're going to need to try to hold off the Philadelphia Phillies. They have Merrill Kelly going tonight, so the best thing they could ask from Merrill is 7 innings. You got 6 or 7 innings, you have Beeks available for 1 inning, and then you throw somebody in there to try to close it in the 9th. Again, that's ideally mapping it out, but they are going to be shorthanded tonight. I'm just assuming that the 3 guys who pitched back-to-back days won't go tonight.